Hello, hello. Are you already scared of syntax? No. See, it's not very difficult, okay? I know it seems scary, but the scarier one are just coming, following, okay? So, the thing that we are going to learn today might seem a little bit difficult. It might seem like you will never be able to understand what I'm saying, but just remember that you don't need to go into a in-depth analysis of syntax, because you just need to be aware of what is happening. Okay, it's just for the purpose of knowing that these methods exist. So you don't have to get scared thinking that, oh my god, I'm going to fail linguistics because you don't understand the next thing that we are going to learn. Okay, so don't worry. I know it can seem a little bit overwhelming when you listen to it first, but keep listening to it and try and practice analyzing a few sentences using this particular method, and then maybe it will become easier. Okay, if not, don't worry, there are not many questions that are going to be asked from this particular part, because mostly what you need to do is just understand that methods like this exist, and you just need to know a superficial you just need to have a superficial idea of syntax and the methods of syntax analysis. Okay, so the next method that we are going to discuss, we already saw in the last video that IC analysis was developed by Leonard Bloomfield, but it was seen to be inadequate, and that it had many missing points, right? And so in order to cover up for whatever was missing in IC analysis, it was Noam Chomsky in his book Syntactic Structures, which was published in 1957, that he came up with phrase structure grammar, also called as PS grammar. Okay, and that is what we will be studying today, phrase structure grammar. All right, now we saw that in IC analysis we break sentences down into the immediate constituents. Okay, and they are basically being broken down into morphemes, which are some linguistic units, in order to discover what are the constituents within a sentence. But we saw that it does not tell us anything about those constituents. It's just breaking it down and presenting them before us, but it does not tell us anything about those constituents as such. And that is why phrase structure grammar was developed. All right, now PS grammar, it contains a set of rules. Okay, and these rules are called as PS rules, phrase structure rules, or rewrite rules. Okay, which if you follow correctly, what happens is that you will be able to form a number of sentences using that particular rule. So how do you get that rule? You will again break down a sentence. Okay, and you will see that when you follow those rules correctly, you will be able to form utterances, many different utterances within a particular language. All right, and these rules help us generate a string of utterances, and it is easier to analyze those utterances, because even before we begin writing the utterances, we have already said what kind of utterance, what kind of constituents they are. So this analysis will give you a basic structure of the English language, which is, it's like more of like an abstract structure, which will help you to form more sentences using that structure. Okay, so it's almost like in maths, when you used to study your formulas, and using that formula you'll be able to solve many different equations. So similarly here also, this is like a formula that you will be studying, and it looks like a formula too. So don't get scared. All right, so it looks like a formula, and using this formula you will be able to create more sentences. So I'll show you how it looks like, and then we'll go on to understand how it is formed. Okay, so look at this rule here. All right, sorry, look at this rule here. Okay, it says that S arrow NP plus VP. Okay, now what this particular rule means is that a sentence, which is S, consists of NP and VP. Now, what are NP and VP? NP is noun phrase and VP is verb phrase. Okay, remember when I told you about modern linguistics and traditional grammar, that nouns and verbs, those kind of labels were broken down, and instead of that we started using NP and noun phrase and verb phrases. Okay, so they say that it's different somehow. I don't know how, but yeah, whatever. Okay, so that's what modern linguistics is about. So this is one phrase structure rule that we have. Okay, there are several PS rules like this, and this is one of the simplest rule. It means that a sentence will consist of a noun phrase and a verb phrase. It's almost like saying that a sentence consists of a noun and a verb, which we know is the case. All right. There's another one which says NP, which is noun phrase, is equal to determiner plus noun. So this is where it is different from traditional grammar. In traditional grammar, you will say that a noun is a word that defines a person, place, or thing. Okay, but here this is called a noun phrase. So a noun phrase which will actually consist of a determiner and a noun. Now, if you don't know what nouns, determiners, verbs, adjectives, adverbs, etc. are, please pause this video, go and read up, refresh your remedial English grammar notes and come back, because unless you know that, this will become a very, very difficult. Okay, so that is something I wanted to do. So this rule means that a noun phrase consists of a determiner and a noun. All right, there's another one which says VP or verb phrase, which consists of a verb plus a noun phrase. Okay, so these are how PS rules are. This is how it looks like. Okay, so thus a PS rule is a replacement rule in which the symbol to the left of the arrow, that means this, okay, these symbols SNPVP, which are towards the left of the arrow, can be expanded or can be replaced by whatever exists towards the right of the arrow. It's sort of like in maths when you say equal to. All right, so whatever is there is, for example, I'll tell you 2 plus 2 is equal to 4 minus 2. All right, sorry, that was wrong. That was very, very wrong. Okay, 2 plus 4 is 4, 5, 6, right? Is equal to 3 plus 3. So what I'm saying is, what is there here can be replaced by what is there here, because the value that you get by adding both of these is the same. It's equal. All right. So similarly, in this case also, whatever is towards the left of the arrow, these symbols can be replaced by whatever is there towards the right of the arrow. So that is why they are called as rewrite or replacement rules, okay, because they can be replaced for each other. And what is there towards the right of the arrow is actually an expanded form of what is here towards the left. So it's almost like saying that 6 is equal to 3 plus 3. Okay, that means that this is the shortened version, and if it can be expanded like this or it can be expanded like that. All right. Now, PS rules are not to be identified with the prescriptive rules that we studied under traditional grammar. All right. Prescriptive grammatical rule, which means that a statement is given and it tells us whether we are right or not. Remember when we talked about traditional grammar, we said that in traditional grammar, people were just given rules. Okay, these are the rules. That's what we studied when we studied English grammar, right? We were given a set of rules and we were said that if you follow this rule, the sentences that you make using these rules will be correct. Okay, but if you don't follow these rules, everything will be wrong. Okay, so that is the prescriptive grammatical technique, where you are given the rules first and then you are asked to follow the sentences. But in PS grammar, what happens is that the rules come later. It is the sentence that comes first, and from the sentence we find the rules. Okay, so that is phrase structure grammar. Okay, so this also is broken down, or this can also be made clear with the help of a tree diagram, which I'll show you right now. Okay, I'll show you how we can do this. Now I'm going to show you how this works out. First of all, we saw that in the construction we have an S, right? So this is a sentence, and we said that a sentence has a noun phrase and a verb phrase. That is our rule that is given to us, right? Now we know that noun phrase has what? Yes, noun phrase has a determiner and noun phrase has a noun. This is the second rule that we learned, right? What does verb phrase have? Verb phrase has a verb and it also has a noun phrase. Okay, now again NP is here. NP means what? Yes, break it down further. This is almost like studying maths. Again, you break it down and saying that it has a determiner and it has a noun. So we've come to the, sort of like the ultimate constituents that are there. All right. Now, sorry about that. All right. So by following this rule, okay, we have got the rule. We said that a sentence is made up of noun phrase and verb phrase, and we've broken down what noun phrase is. We have broken down the verb phrase. Now let us replace these labels with actual words that can come here. Okay, let's replace them. A determiner, the an. So I'll put the here for the time being. And instead of noun, I can put any noun here. I'm going to say man. And then I need a verb, okay? Let's say sang, okay? Another determiner I need, let's say and another noun, I'll say song. See what happened? What happened here? You have gotten a sentence. You had the rule. From that, you got a sentence. Now using this particular rule that you have here, you just try and see how many sentences you can create. There are n number of sentences that you can create using this one particular rule. Okay, you break it down and you see, all right? Instead of man, I can say the girl, the person, the individual, whatever it is, okay? Or instead of the determiner the, I can say a or an, okay? Then verb can be opened a box, or walked a mile. There are so many different constructions that can come to your mind if you follow this particular rule. So this is phrase structure grammar, okay, where you are given a set of rules which are called as PS rules or rewrite rules. And if you follow those rules, you'll be able to get a particular manner in which your sentences can be formed. Another thing to learn here is that, another thing to learn here is that all of these points here, right? These are called as nodes. Okay, nodes, the branches from which you bring out a branch. These are called as the nodes that are there. Okay, so this is how you can represent PS rules or PS grammar. Okay, this is what PS grammar is. Now, again, when this was brought about by Noam Chomsky, everyone hailed it at first. But then when people started using it, they realized that PS grammar also has many, many different limitations. I want you to read up about these particular methods online. Okay, just read up the limitations of PS grammar, limitations of IC analysis, and you'll understand. So again, just like IC analysis, it does not help us, to find out the close relationship between the morphemes. Okay, it does not help us to create ambiguous sentences. Okay, and if you look at it closely, it gives us a particular structure only. How can you form a question with such a construction? Okay, so there are many different questions that came up with regards to PS grammar, and then it was found that PS grammar is also not adequate enough to explain the entire syntax structure that exists in English language. Okay, and there are many different aspects of a language that cannot be described using the PS rules, and that is why PS rules also fell out of favor. And the next one which came about was transformational generative grammar, or TG grammar, which we will discuss in the next video.